The impact of Russia's invasion is being felt the world over, especially in the global markets. The war has wiped out billions of dollars worth of global wealth. The losses are mounting. All leading exchanges continue to nosedive. And if the war continues, the conflict will trigger food shortages worldwide. Our next report tells you how.
For the global economy, the war in Ukraine is bad news. The world was slowly recovering from the pandemic-induced slowdown. But Russia's invasion of Ukraine could derail the global economic recovery. Oil prices are the biggest pain point. Brent crude is the global benchmark for prices of crude. 1 barrel of Brent crude now costs close to $140, the highest since 2008. These prices are bad news for countries like India. India imports at least 75% of its oil needs. If the cost of crude remains this high, India's import bill could shoot past the 100 billion mark. Tough days lie ahead. The West is considering sanctions on Russian oil exports. Europe could soon make a move. If that happens, oil prices will rise even further.
We have to get rid of the dependency of Russian gas, oil and coal. I know the two of us agree on this. The Commission will be coming forward with proposals tomorrow, and there are 3 main pillars. One is the diversification of supply away from Russia and towards reliable suppliers.
Global markets are already spooked by that prospect. Across continents, leading exchanges crashed. America's Dow has been in the red for 4 weeks. Pan-Europe exchange stocks, Europe 600, fell by close to 2%. Asian stocks were hammered too. Last week, Indian investors lost more wealth than Ukraine's GDP. Their losses have now exceeded $66 billion. The consequences of the war in Ukraine will be felt beyond the exchanges. The International Monetary Fund has issued a grim warning. It said the sanctions on Russia will have a severe impact on the global economy. The World Bank, too, isn't optimistic. It has called the war an economic catastrophe. David Malpass, the president of the World Bank, has raised an alarm over food prices. Both Russia and Ukraine are leading food producers. The conflict is threatening the global food supply. Already, prices of key commodities have hit record levels. If the war continues, there could be a major shortage of essentials like wheat. The impact will be felt worldwide.
Today, about 30% of wheat comes from these 2 countries. 20% of maize, corn, comes from these 2 countries. And about 80% of sunflower oil comes from these 2 countries. So the impact of this crisis is worldwide.
The conflict in Ukraine is now spilling beyond the borders of Europe. The longer it continues, the more devastating it will be for the global economy.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.